everybody, it's the Warhipster here, coming at you with another Contrast Plus painting tutorial, and today we are painting Freca, Lord of the West March. Yes, another one of the resin MESBG characters that Games Workshop very kindly sent me early back when it first came out, and I've only just gotten the time to do it now. So, massive thank you to them for that, and well, we're going to jump in and we're going to start painting him. He has been primed in Grey Seer, and the colour we're going to be using first is Basilicanum Grey. And what we're going to be doing is we're going to fill it down with roughly 2 parts Lahmian Medium to 1 part Basilicanum Grey, and we're going to be using this over the top of his, well, his skirt, but also the inside and outside of his cloak. Now, we're not only going to be doing this one layer, we're going to be doing 2 of them, but that's why we've thinned it down, because we want this really lovely dark grey that we can get from Basilicanum Grey. We also want it to be reasonably smooth, so that's why we've thinned it down with just a little bit of Lahmian Medium. And then, as I say, we are going to do 2 layers of this. Over the top of these details. So with that all done, 2 layers of that Basilicanum Grey and Lahmian Medium mix applied, what we're going to do now is move on to our next colour, which is going to be some Black Legion. We're going to be applying this over a ton of details. So we're going to be applying this over top of all of the fur. We're going to apply this over top of his sort of leather armours and stuff like that sort of thing. So down here, like that. We've got all this stuff down here as well. We've got the braces on his arms and his undershirt as well. We've got his trousers, and we've got the bindings on his boots down here, which we're also going to apply this over. So yeah, loads of black details. So with all of that Black Legion applied, as you can see there is rather a lot of it, what we're going to do now is take some Gore-Grunta Fur, and we're going to do 2 things. One is this strap, just in here. Like so. And the other is this strap. Like that. With that Gore-Grunta Fur all applied, we're then going to take some Cygor Brown. I'm going to apply this over top of the remaining straps. And we're also going to apply this over top of Freca's hair and beard. So with that Cygor Brown all applied, we're then going to take some Agrax Earthshade, and we're going to apply this over top of the boots. And so with that Agrax Earthshade all applied, we're then going to take some Nuln Oil. I'm going to apply this over top of his sort of white chest pajamas. So with that all done, we're then going to take some Guilliman Flesh. I'm going to apply this over top of Freca's skin. And so with that all done, we're then going to take some thinned down Retributor Armour. I'm going to use this over the top of all of our remaining details, including things like this trim on the armour and on the brooch, the sword, hilt, and stuff like that. It's actually got quite a lot of gold. So with all of that Retributor Armour applied, as you can see, a lot of gold. What we're going to do now is we're going to take some Reikland Fleshshade. I'm going to use this to shade the gold and his skin. Just want to make him a little bit more tanned. Just a little bit. So with that all done, Freca is now what I would call a Warhipster battle ready. He's looking pretty good. However, we're of course not going to leave it there. No, we're going to take it to the next level. We're going to do this by adding some highlights. Now, the first of these is going to be some thinned down Stormvermin Fur. I'm going to use this to highlight the grey. So with all that Stormvermin Fur applied, we're then going to take some thinned down Karak Stone. I'm going to use this to add some little spot highlights to the grey, like that sort of thing. Just picking out the sharpest points. But what we're also going to do is we're going to use this to pick out the stitching and the edges of his belt, and we're going to use this to add a little bit of extra highlighting here and there to all the fur up here. When I say extra highlighting, we actually haven't done any highlighting, but we just want to basically add little spots of this to keep it nice and dark. That's also just adding that kind of weathered look to it. Just like that sort of thing. So with that all done, what we're now going to do is we're going to take some thinned down Corax White. I'm going to use this to highlight his shirt in here. Like that sort of thing. However, on this little brooch up here as well, a little swirly stuff in there, we're going to use the Corax White over the top of that. So with that Corax White all applied, we're then going to take some Bloodreaver Flesh. I'm going to use this to highlight the hair, moustache and beard. So with that all done, it's quite a subtle little highlight, but we don't want his hair to be that bright. So what we're going to do next is we're going to take some Black Legion, really small amount of this here, and I'm going to apply this over top of his eyeballs. So with that Black Legion applied, we then take a teensy tiny little dot of Screaming Skull and we apply this in the corners of each of the eyes. So with that all done, we're then going to take some thinned down Flayed One Flesh and we're going to use this to highlight Freca's skin. So with that all done, we're then going to do the tattoos on his face by taking some Teclis Blue. We're not going to use very much of this here because we need to be very careful. So we basically got these two triangles on his forehead that we just need to bring down like so, and then bring across like that sort of thing. And then there's also a little one on the cheek as well. It is duplicated across both sides, but the cheek one is like a line that comes down like this, and then it curls at the end like that. So with that all done, what we're now going to do is take some thinned down Dawnstone. And we're going to use this to highlight all of our kind of remaining black details. So we have things like the trousers under here, we have the undershirt on his arms, we have the wraps on the boots as well. So with that all done, what we're now going to do is finish off Freca by taking some thinned down Liberator Gold. I'm going to use this to highlight all of his gold. And so with the base now complete, Freca is now finished. And that concludes our trio of characters from the realms of MESBG. There's a lot more we want to do in Middle-earth, but for now we must move on to other things, of course. But yeah, this is it. This is the last one for a little while. I really enjoyed him. I think he's just a sort of cool model. It's just a fun little one to do. He's not around for very long, so it doesn't have that much of a lasting impact, I guess. If you enjoyed this video, you love the channel and you'd like to support me further, you absolutely can do so by heading to patreon.com/Warhipster, just like all of these wonderful, amazing people have done. And alternatively, you could become a YouTube channel member by clicking on the join button below, exactly like these fabulous folks have done, scrolling up on the screen before you. There are so many of you out there that it really takes my breath away, and I cannot thank you enough for everything you do, as without you I wouldn't be able to keep making these Contrast Plus videos. And if you really like this video and you want to send me a little thanks, just click on the thanks button just below this video. Don't forget to share it, like it, comment on it, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and to make sure you stay up to date, don't forget to click the bell icon. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all very soon in the next one. Happy wargaming.